Okay, you guys liked my previous build study video, so I'm going to continue making them, but as a series, or at least I'll try to make it as a series, where what I'm going to do is go on Roblox and just look up showcase games and then try to replicate them. And if you don't know what showcase games are on Roblox, it's basically these amazing looking builds made by incredible builders. They're just showcasing their talent. So I'm going to go into these showcase games and try to make them myself, just to learn how the builder made them themselves, to improve my building technique and to learn from incredible builders. And again, I'm going to try to make this as a series. I'm hoping that I don't just make this one video and then never do it again. But yeah, we'll see if this will turn into a series, if this video does well. So anyways, let's find a showcase build for me to recreate. Okay, let's first just look up showcase within the Roblox experiences. Just search that up. Let's look at the first one. I feel like this is sort of like what I always see with forests and stuff. I want to do something different. Let's look at the second one. Oh, okay. This one looks really unique. Yeah, since it's really different looking, I think I would want to make it. A lot of people have been to this game, a lot of likes. You know what, let's go for this one. Let's try to recreate this. Just playing this game for like a few seconds and I can see there's a lot of attention to detail. Like for example, this part right here, it's not just a solid color, there's like texture to it and there's like the subtle yellow to it. So this build is really gonna take a while. Where did I just get to? Where am I? Okay, let's first try to recreate this structure right here. Luckily this game allows for like a free cam mode, so I can like fly around. Yeah, but anyways, let's start with this part. So like we're gonna start like getting this general shape first. Before continuing, I realized within the build, like the textures are not the same as like the default Roblox textures. This doesn't look like the default concrete texture. It's kind of different. Like for example, I can see that there's like a subtle, I don't know how to pronounce it, like a vignette, whatever that is, but there's like black on the edges around it. Same with like this one right here. That's obviously not the default texture. I'm not sure where they got their textures from, but I'm gonna have to try to replicate it somehow. All right, there you go. I added in textures to make the build look similar to what the original builder did, and I realized, again, learning that instead of using the default textures that Roblox has, add in your own textures. Like for example, instead of having it just be this solid color, add in a texture like this, which is what the original builder did. So now I'm learning a new thing, change the textures, and that can go for almost anything. Like over here, I changed the texture for the base, and then I have these other textures like this concrete texture that I'll be using at the edge, like over here at the edge, or this part right here where I'll be using another texture, all just using different textures. And another detail is I can see in the original build there's some yellow on the red base, and I can add that with a decal or an image. And if you're wondering how I'm getting these textures, well, for this one I made it by myself. I can see the general shape for it, and I just made it within like a photo image making software. And if you're wondering how I got the other textures, you can follow one of my tutorials that has this thumbnail, where basically I just take a screenshot of the texture I want, put it through a photo editing software, fix it up a bit, and then upload it. And again, if you're confused by that, just look at the tutorial of mine. Anyways, now you're probably wondering right now, it doesn't look the exact same, and that's because I did not do the lighting. The lighting will really make it look similar. Like over here, the sun is not facing onto the building, it's behind it. So let's first do that. Let's adjust it so the sun's behind, and now it's really dark. I can also actually see that the light is hitting the side over here. So basically what I'm saying is I can tell the light is actually right here, hitting the left side of the building, like over here. I'm gonna go to the game and just see what color the shadows are and what color the actual light parts are. Now here's an example. Over here is a light part, and then over here is a dark part. Now looking at the light part, I can tell it's really yellow. So I'm going to add yellow to my lighting. And now the shadow part, it's really dark, slightly blue, slightly purplish almost looking. I think, unless it's not, but we can just adjust it and see. Going back to Roblox Studio, we saw that the light parts are in yellow. So let's adjust the color shift top to a yellow color. And then let's make the shadow part blue. You can also see from this, it's blue over here and yellow over here. Let's try to replicate that. And the shadows over here are really dark, so we're going to decrease this to get our darker shadows. And we're going to keep it like this for now. What I always do for all my builds is get the general kind of lighting I want at the beginning. So which is what I just did. I got the general kind of lighting, and then I finish the build and then go back to lighting. So now let's finish the build.
Okay, wait, hold on.
What I found so fascinating is that they added green up here for some reason at the top. And maybe it's because there's a green on the windows. So maybe in order to blend the green windows with the actual pink building, they put a little green to the pink building. I don't know, but it was something really interesting that I just picked up on. And it's definitely something that I'll be using from now on with the rest of my builds.
Okay, stop. Hold on. As I was referencing the game and trying to like learn from it, I realized the build in game looked different from the build in the thumbnail. Well, it looks kind of different. Like the colors aren't really the same. And I wondered why. I scrolled down in the game and looked at the description. It gives credit to some artist from ArtStation. So I was like, okay, hold on. Maybe I can reference the original concept art so I can figure out what the builder used to make this build. So then I went to the ArtStation website and then looked up the credited artist. And then I scroll down and then I found the build right here. This is the thumbnail from the game. So I realized, wait a minute. I don't know how I didn't realize this before, but the thumbnail in the game isn't even the game. The thumbnail is actually just some painting. I thought it was an actual 3D model for so long. So yeah, this thumbnail, I got like debated thinking it was the build game, but no, it isn't. But also they did mention that it is like this isn't their art. They give credit to the original person. So yeah, I'm gonna be referencing from this picture, this painting from now on. Okay, I'm all done. And this is the final build. Obviously, the build isn't 100% complete. Like, some areas look weird and off and not finished. That's just because this is just a build study. It's not an actual build, so I'm not leaving it 100% done, okay? Also, I'm really tired. This build really made me practice the colors, really. Like, for example, one cool thing was adding in colors at the really dark areas. So like over here, it's like a dark corner, and adding this touch of like brightness to it is really cool. Same over here. So if I get rid of that and bring it back in, you can see it gets rid of those like dull colors. So it's a really good technique that I'm definitely going to be using for the rest of my builds. In the shadow area, I've been doing this, but this build made me do it again. But in the edges of my shadows, I always add this vibrant color next to it. So over here, you can see it's just a fake shadow. I've always been using fake shadows, so that's something I already knew. But adding a vibrant color at the edge of the shadow is something that this build made me practice with. And also adding these colors, like over here, there's a little green because there's a green vase. Adding us a little like oranges because there's like an oranges pot. Or again, over here, there's green windows, so you add a touch of green next to it, which I still don't really know why, but maybe because it adds cohesiveness to the entire build. So that's something I picked up on because of this build study. And going back to colors, you can tell them like the main colors of this build is pinks and greens. And if you look at the color wheel, I think they're complementary colors. And like art rules, using colors that are opposite in the color wheel are called complementary colors, I think, which means those two colors will always look good together. And also for my last build study, I did a build by Fluorite, and Floor actually commented on that video, and he recommended to always build at a certain angle, and that's what I did for this build. I always built looking at this angle, or I kept this angle in mind. Also, before I end off a video, I should also give credit when credit's due. I almost forgot. The original builder is Aerophagia. I hope I said that right. I also give credit to the original concept artist, Hyunsu Cha from ArtStation. I don't know if I said that right either. But yeah, I'm going to give credit to both of them because I referenced from both of them. But yeah, there you go. I've learned a few things. If you enjoyed this video, or if you maybe learned something from this video, please consider subscribing or maybe leave a like. And that's all. Bye.